And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Endless Legends, playing as the Necrophages, and trying to play a little bit more combat aggressively than we did in the previous run as the Broken Lords. This is the second part, where we're going to pick up from where we left off last time, basically the beginning of the first winter here. Refresh our spice bonus, so we will. Okay, so our army will be fully replaced next turn. Okay. Nope. Can I level the hero up while he's pending combat? No. Okay. Oh, then we'll have to fight that combat. I don't expect him... Again, the predictor there is giving us a good idea that the hero alone is not going to have a real problem with that. Well, those guys have winter immunity, winter movement immunity. The real question here is, can I kill both of them in 6 turns? Looks like as long as I don't get the worst roll result. Probably. Sadly, our hero here, while he does have disease immunity, he does not have disease, unlike the rest of our army units. Oh no, we hit the second worst result once. It's not quite enough to get everyone. So only one cadaver. We don't lose our army, which is probably the most important part. Okay, we're going to want quite a bit of money in the near future. So we're going to slow down the construction a little bit so we can get money coming a little bit faster. Let's look at what we're going to upgrade our guys into. So the foragers by default just start with the default weapon and shield. Do you want to swap them from claws to axe? Oh, no, they're on the axe. Do you want to swap them to claws is the question. No, we'll leave them on the axe. And we want to equip them with the armor. This will make them more expensive, but it will also make them tougher. Which is, these guys do have disease. We do want to keep them in the fight long enough for the disease to attrit the enemy, is basically the plan there. And then I do like increased movement. Increased movement's always nice. We're not going to be building a Forger anytime soon, but we'll go ahead and equip the Forger also with the increased movement. Give them the armor upgrade. And then our Necro Drone. Flying guys, we basically want to do the same sort of thing. Armor them up. The flyers don't get boots. And I suppose technically they don't need the movement speed to keep up with the rest of the guys. So we could actually put improved vision and sharp sense on them for the moment. And then upgrade all of our units is within our affordment range, so we can afford it, and we'll do that. Oh, not quite enough movement points to get 2 merged. Shame. Okay. We do want to get our hero equipped. We're running the one-handed sword. We are running the one-handed sword. I think that'll work. It's already there. He's already actually got the armor, so it's just the support items we can equip on him. And then, yeah, we do want to save up a little bit of money. And try to get our army merged up. And then to battle we go. Ah, just in time for good old summer. This should be a fairly easy fight. We're technically fighting an army of independent support units. And hopefully in this battle we'll actually really show off our disease effect. So that's their auto. And of course flyers can attack straight up cliffs. Nope, we won't get to show off the disease effect because we're just gonna kill them all. That... Oh no, one of them got away. Forgot about one of the roamers up there got away. So we'll be able to show off the food stockpile after the next battle. Yeah, I can move. We're not too worried about the dust at this point, so we're going to put these guys not on food. Industry. Try to get that dust dredger done quicker. New fight, same as the last. Oh, I was hoping our flyers would actually be able to fly over the short bit of sea there, but apparently that does not appear to be the case. Of course, we're fighting ranged, capable troops, which is not going to make this the easiest to get a good melee going with. Okay, so in this round we should finish the last guy off. So there's the disease effect you can see kicking in. We did kill some of them just by being in proximity to them, I believe. There we go. And that was also our third battle with a army composed of Necrophage units, getting us 10 blood crystals and advancing our main quest. We're now being told to go search a specific unspoiled ruins after gathering 10 titanium and 20 spices. That one. I don't think I have... Oh, I still have 20 spices. So we should probably go over and do that before I spend all the spices. What's the name of that quest? A madman's dream. Sweet, sweet flesh. The nest thrums with fervor dreams, with faith, with belief. Workers scuttle with extra fervor. Yes. Dust dredger done, giving us another 10 dust per turn. Search the same unspoiled ruin after getting 150 dust. Okay. Well, that might be the case next turn. Or that should be the case next turn, so we can do that next turn. And for that, we got, I believe, a hero. All the captives died except Reese. Agony wrapped itself around him too, but unlike the others, he came out transformed. Patches of chitin cover his soft hind legs, soft hind leg skin, and his eyes show the thing he once was. He was asked for a new name, and I have granted him his wish. He shall be known as Ka Reese. I've never imagined a hind leg could show such chitin, such single-mindedness. Maybe his experiments mark our path to victory. Menials, fetch the hind legs. Every cycle, I find myself seeking his company. So, yeah, the Necrophage is also basically just convert people into Necrophages. So, we now have a new hero. I think I'm going to make this guy the governor of our one and only city. Sign here. Of course, he is upkeep, so there goes all our money. Yeah, something like that for the month. 3 decks to go before we get the next era. And I don't have the spice to reactivate the Spice Booster. Let's activate the Blood Crystal one. One reason is because getting Empire approval of, well, I think it's 60, is giving us an income bonus. Which allows us to afford to keep our troops functional without having to put guys in dust. Okay, looks like we'll have one of them killed. We'll just have to jump on the next one on the next turn. Also, good thing we had the initiative there, because he did have circular attack, so he does hit, can hit multiple people if he's doing the attacking. But if we're doing the attacking to him, we don't get hit multiple times. There we go. We did also pick up enough. Granted, it wasn't this fight; it was the previous fight. We picked up enough to get a recycled stockpile, so an extra 120 food on a city of her choice. Of course, we've got one city, so we do it on the one city. Did I put enough people on food that we get that pop? Next turn, yeah. Just gotta put one on food to do that. Okay. In the 5 turns, search for relic at a specific location. That location. Okay. Acquiring some more cadavers for our food stockpiles. And to be fair, well, we got a decent variety of troops for this earlier in the game. They're pretty simplistic melee troops. You just try to figure out how to get them to attack the enemy effectively. They do, again, have the AoE disease effect. But this early in the game, that's not really coming to play very much. It's just sort of beat on the enemy until they're a cadaver. Drone's got enough experience to level up. Got a quest that we're pursuing. We need to get that population city up to 6. I need everyone on industry to complete that building in a turn. And of course, as your units level up, they do get more expensive to maintain, so not necessarily being the most economically, well, the most money-rich of nations, having a little bit of problems with money. Instead of an industry, I'm going to have to put people on money for a bit. We got Break Wall, which is a specialty shield. Equipable only by heroes. Okay. Probably does make sense to equip this quest item on our hero. Since it is probably a better shield than the alternative. Yeah. It's reminding me that I should actually decide if I want that. Set vision. We're not going to make any more troops. I'm making money, but we want to get off of money as soon as possible, so I think we'll probably do vision, science. Get a little more science, get through the tech tree a little bit faster, so we get it into Era 2 and get more choices. So if you kind of got the gist of playing, or of me playing this, in comparison to the Broken Lords, we are definitely doing a lot of fighting. Very early on, whereas the Broken Lords were doing a lot more diplomacy. These guys are not the diplomacy people. They're very much the we are going to eat you because we hunger. Whereas this early in the game, as the cultist, we'd even be doing more diplomacy. Even though I was thinking they'd be the other very militaristic one to play, because we were doing a lot more spreading the cult, which doesn't necessarily need to be done with a force of arms. It can be done with sending the missionary to the minor villages. So by spreading, yeah, for the cultists, you can either spread it around by sort of conquering the villages, or you can send in. I think your basic unit as the cultist is effectively your missionary, and you can technically do. All you have to do is you got to get the village pacified, right? So you can do that pacifying by doing quests. You can pacify that by sending the troops in, like we're doing. Here on the Necrophages, or you can just bribe them. You can just bribe them to be your friends. As the cultists, whereas these guys, we're here for the meat. Again, it is a good thing that we've got the initiative here. Those chain lightning attacks would allow them to hit multiple guys if they were to get to the first attack off. We're just not letting them do that. Do we run into food problems in the Necros? Not necessarily, because you got the cadaver system, where you literally harvest food from all the enemies you're killing, effectively. Although they are bad at making food from the environment. They get -1 food yields from tiles. So in many ways, they're actually sort of similar to the Dust Lords, where they're really bad at. They don't necessarily get particularly great food from terrain. Granted, the Dust Lords don't need to eat, so they don't need the food. Whereas these guys, they need to eat, and they're not actually very good at farming. They have alternative methods for acquiring food, let's just say. But if you don't fight or don't get many bodies from battlefields, would you have problems with food? Not necessarily. It still depends upon the terrain you're in, right? So it's only a -1 food penalty for these hexes. So you can see on the river here, yeah, it's a -1. That's bringing us from what would be a 3 food hex to a 2 food hex. Right, but enough of the world has decent food on it, but that's not necessarily a problem. It does potentially prevent them from getting particularly high populations. But one of the other effects I didn't necessarily go into very much on the necrophages is one of their country's cultural effects. Is, if I can find it there, cellulose mutation. So, a natural outgrowth of highly specialized evolution, some workers are able to excrete semi-solid, or excrete a semi-solid that dries into tough fibrous materials. And this material, cheap and abundant, is used to spread the construction of city buildings, which says decreases the cost of a district. One of the notable things as far as districts is concerned is normally you can build a district for every 2 population you have in a city. For the necrophage, it's every 1. So even though their cities might be, say, like half the size, or half the population size of someone else, you can still build the same size of city. So you're maybe not very good at getting food from the terrain, but you're equally as good at getting everything else, and you can get the city bigger for the same amount of people. Which can help make up a little bit for the fact that your people are not necessarily good at farming the land. But one thing that kind of drives you to go fighting with these guys is they do have pitiless. One does not debate with one's next meal. So we can't sign peace deals with people. We can't. No diplomatic technologies, no bribe and talk technologies. They can technically force us back into Cold War if we go into Hot War, but that's about it. So we exist in only states of war. There is Hot War, where we can go fight in enemy territories and they can fight in ours. And there is Cold War, which is what we're in right now, where we can only fight in the territory between territories. Do you want to speed up science a bit? We're going to grow the city. Let's grow the city a little bit. Where are we in cadavers? Ah, we got another stockpile to deploy. Did I get that up to 1 turn? No. It says 2 turns. It's 2 turns to the current rate, but that's including the stockpile being added in, which is 120 food. We're only going to have that sustained for 1 turn. Oh, and we've met the Volters. We've met more people to eat. Yes, Twitch chat is telling us we've met more people to eat, and that is kind of true. Never eaten Voltars before. Says Twitch chat. Well, the necrophage will be eating all the foods. So, but first we're eating the minotaurs here. Yeah, we're not getting the best rolls on the damage here. Here we go. 2 more divers to the next one. Yeah, you can see it's now giving us the accurate time estimate of it's going to be 5 turns instead of... And yeah, we probably want to continue building the borough streets after the neighborhood. Fairly large. City growing. I don't remember if I ate that village. I don't think I ate that one, but that might have actually been the neighbors that got in on the murdering the locals. They don't even eat them. Nope, and they ran away. So we got a cadaver from the enemy troops that didn't successfully retreat from us. $137. Tempting. I'm gonna not do it though. Don't need the wine that badly. And they run away again. Come back here. Just turn down one of the enemy units. In fact, down the healthiest of the enemy units. Oh, and I think one of them died from the disease. And with that successful military victory, I think that is a good place to put a part break in. Buying 4 more cadavers for the Empire, another stockpile to grow our main city. So in theory, the city should grow to size 7 next turn. I think our hero may have picked up a skill. No, this was the city hero. You've picked up a skill. Well, we'll take necrotic agriculture plus food on city. So yeah, with that victory going and heroes assigned as they are, I think that's a good place to put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. We're going to try to record 3 parts tonight, assuming we can record at the current rate. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This is the middle of the stream where I'm going to go ahead and go get a new cup of tea. So I will be back with the next cup of tea to continue our hungry hippo of a game here, where our necrophages quest around the land in search of food for them to eat. Tech-wise, we're definitely coming along. We're going to get a lot more options in Era 2, where we can get the cost decrease on upkeep, get access to our 3rd faction unit, which is the Defibrillator, as well as get a slightly larger military army size. I think with the that combo, like that 3 combo, we should be good to actually start a proper war with someone instead of just eating them in the middle between cities. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck, a good time, catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.